Hi everyone, welcome to day 11 of the 31 days of Halloween in our October daily MemoryDex style. And wow, I have been really having some fun with these. And I hope you've been inspired to create something. It doesn't even have to be within our MemoryDex or anything, just as long as you're inspired to create something and to play with your toys. Now today we are inspired by Stamping Scrapbooker, excuse me, at blogspot.com, and I will link her down below. And she's done a card, multiple layers. So this one's going to be fun because remember, whenever we're shrinking from a card down to a smaller size, we have less space to work because this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're working with basically 4 inches square minus our tab that our number goes on. So it shrinks us down quite a bit. Now I'm starting with my layers, and remember we start from the bottom and we build up. Now I do not have a dark black layer on the back. Let me move my stuff here so I don't spill everything everywhere. Let's bring hers back in. My pieces and my parts. Okay, so I started with this paper from Retired Stampin' Up Pick Your Poison, and it's mimicking the orange background she has here. And what I've done is I've combined the two, the orange and the black. But before I can glue this down, we need to do some layering. So I'm going to stick that off the side so I can lose track of it. And I'm starting with my doily, and I used a Sizzix doily die, and as you can see it's going to be way too big, but that's okay. If I cut it down to just the main part of the doily, we're going to be fine. So I'm going to come in, and this is not going to be perfect by any means, but I'm just going to come through and I'm going to zip around and I'm going to cut the outside border off. I'm going to try and do this quick without cutting where I don't want and keeping my trimmers in mind. If you don't know, I'm preparing to go to a writer's conference. I leave on Thursday, which I think is the day you're watching this, but I'm recording all of them up so that I can have them ready to upload at the hotel. I'm recording them all on Monday. So I've just been zipping from one to the next, playing here. Now I will tell you the die I had for this, I did have to shim it with another piece of cardstock to get everything to cut. And as you can see, there's still some border pieces that didn't cut well. But otherwise, I love the die. It lets me cut any colored doily I want. It's an Ellen Hudson die. Okay, so now we have our doily and that will work. Okay, so now I have my doily, and I have this piece from, let's see, what was this one from? This one was from the Cart Bella Ephemera pack. And I'm going to dust it with some black soot, kind of tone that white down a little bit. Okay, now here's the other thing. We need another color up underneath there. And I think I want to go, I think that one's going to be too dark. The cats are going the wrong direction. Let's go with this orange here. Just like that. And we've got some layering in here, so now we can come in and we can distress the edges on this one. Let it blend into the background of that doily. And we'll position that right there. And that's going to go right there. Now this has got to come over just a hair because now our ribbon's going to come around. So before I put that ribbon in place, I want to come in know I've got glue dots over here somewhere because I just had them earlier today. There it is. I want to kind of hold everything in place till I'm ready to glue everything down. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to put one glue dot in the center of that doily and burnish it into place. And it's kind of like a rub-on. When you burnish it into place, the paper releases. So I'm going to do that one right like that. And then I'm going to come in with my paper and I'm going to put a couple of glue dots on it so it will hold into place. With that length, I don't think one's going to do it. And we want this one to come over to this side more. In fact, I think I'm going to take part of that off. I think it's a little too wide. So I'm just going to eyeball that. Give it a dusting with my black soot. Cover up that area that I just cut off. And then I can put it over here. Okay. And then we can come in with our ribbon. Now I've had a couple of ribbon choices, and the one I was going to use that seam binding, but I decided it was too thick and it was not double-sided. So I had to leave it doubled up and able to get a pattern on both sides. And then I was looking for something else and I found this orange and black, and it's got a hint of yellow in it, and I thought this is perfect. So I'm just going to tie that up into a bow, come in with my fabric scissors and snip that off, just like that. And then I can come back in, I have a piece of it, and this is why we didn't adhere this down first, because I want to, forgot my quote tag on here. Okay, and I'm going to set that right there. And then I can come in with this ribbon and I'm okay if I cover up the on you part. I'm okay with that. But I'm going to come in and I'm going to run a piece of my, I'm going to measure where this needs to come, just like that, and fold it around. And that's going to tell me where I need to put my double back tape. And this should hold just fine. And then I can come back, figure out where that needs to go and cut that off. And then I'm going to put another glue dot right there to hold this in place. Okay. Okay, so there's that. And now, it's a little cockeyed, isn't it? So let's see if we can fix that. Level that up a little bit. Let's level that up just a little bit. Oh, I know why I did it that way. Let's move Ellen out of the way so I can have my glass mat to work on here. And you gotta watch that you don't pull it too tight or you'll buckle everything. Just like that. Okay. And now I'm going to come back in with a bit of glue. Now that I have that ribbon in place, I can come back in with a bit of glue and I can squish that down and get that to glue down better, just like that. Okay. Now I am going to use my craft glue for this next one because I'm putting the bow on the ribbon, and I want to make sure it's going to hold. You can use fabric tack for this if that's your preference. Just this craft glue is my favorite. And like fabric tack, it bonds really fast. So I'm going to put some on the back of there. And wipe it off on the outside of the jar. Okay. Now we have our bow on there, and while that's gluing, I'm going to put this, not going to reach, not going to reach. And then I have these two that I punched out from the ephemera pack, and I'm going to dust the edges of those with the black soot. I can't believe we are on day 11 already. We are a third of the way through our MemoryDex box. Are you creating MemoryDex? Are you having fun? That's a better question. Okay, I'm going to put that right there. And you know, I don't think I want to do two, because if I do two, we're covering up spells. So let's eliminate that one, and let's just do Trick or Treat. And I'm going to add since we're gluing to that ribbon, I'm going to go ahead and use my craft glue so it will get a good adhesion. Okay. And let's just do that. I have scrap pieces to work with. We'll come back in and we'll glue our day 11 on. Now notice, down here on the bottom, the doily kind of shows through a little bit. I can come back in with my fussy cuts and do that really quick, you know, so that we remember to glue this onto the MemoryDex card. So I'm just going to come in here with these and just kind of snip those out of the way. Okay, there we go. Now we can glue this into place. My bow's sliding because that glue hasn't dried yet. I want to round this corner off. I don't know why this one wasn't rounded. Okay. And not only am I going to put the tombow on here, but about where that ribbon tabs come around, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little bit of extra craft glue to make sure. I think that ribbon will hold pretty well. Let's dab some of that craft glue on here so that it will stick. And then we come back in here with this. Squish that around. Now see, it's okay if this comes over the top. We just had to make sure we stayed within the confines of the sides. Now we can come in with our number 11. Make sure we're going right side up. I'm not sure with the 11s if it really makes a difference. So see, whatever you can do, you know, a lot of people stay away from, oh, I don't make cards. But you know what? So many of the things that you do on cards, you can do on junk journal tucks, pockets, MemoryDex cards, even as a tag itself. So put your goodies to use, and there is our day 11. Remember, like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell because this roller coaster is only halfway around the loop. Creative blessings.